रूपम रूप विवर्जित भवतो ध्यानेन यत्कल्पितम् स्तुत्य निर्वचनीयता अखिल गिरो दृढ़कृतं यन्मया व्यापित्वांच निराकृतं यत्तीर्थयात्रादिनं संतव्यं युगदीश तद्विकलता दोषत्रयं मत्कृतम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Lord, I made 3 mistakes in my life. My first mistake, I know you are formless, but for the sake of my meditation, I imagined your form. My second mistake, I know you are beyond expression, but for the sake of my prayer, I eulogized, I glorified your name. My third mistake, I know you are all pervading, but for the sake of my pilgrimage, I visited many holy places to see you. Lord, please forgive me these 3 mistakes which I have committed in my life. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. As you have heard that my topic this evening, see God with open eyes. Very interesting topic. Does God exist? If He does, why can't you see Him? Where is God? Who is God? What can He do? What is wrong to have a godless life? How can you get uninterrupted joy and peace in life? How to get happiness? These are the questions we try to answer in our life. And I worked on this book, perhaps you might have seen, those who have read the Bengali book, Dhyanaloke Sri Ramakrishna. This is more or less the English translation, but some more. See God with open eyes. This is the book. Very interesting. Nietzsche, this German philosopher, said God is dead. One American writer wrote, the old God is not functioning well anymore, we want to replace, we need a new God. Sometimes we say, God has become too old, He does not hear our prayer anymore, He needs some hearing aid. This is the way we think about God. Some atheists also, we know, they think more God than many theists. There is no God, there is no God, there is no God. This is the way they are thinking of God. I remember once I was interviewed by a person who came and said, I'm an atheist. I said, really? But you believe in your wife. You know that when you are asleep, your wife is not going to cut your throat. You have faith in your wife. You have faith in the airline pilot that he will not bring the plane down. You have faith in the restaurant chef that he is not going to poison you. You have faith in the surgeon who is going to surgery. You know he is not going to kill you. You have faith all these people except God. That is fine. Without faith, hope, faith and love. These 3 things are vital in human life. You have no hope, you will not get reason, you will not get up from your bed in the morning. If you have no love, life is hopeless. And faith. If there is husband and wife, if they do not have mutual faith and love, respect, there is no peace in that home. Faith. Let me tell you an Indian folklore. A king asked his minister, I have 3 questions. Does God exist? Second question, if he does, in which direction does he look? Third question, what can he do? The minister could not answer. He went to his home. His servants saw his master depressed, inquired the reason, and got to know that he could not answer these questions. The servant said, I can answer these questions if you take me to the king. All right, let us go. The servant boy said to the king, I shall answer all of your questions. But before I do, you must obey me. I shall sit on the throne and you come on the floor with folded hands. You ask me questions and I shall answer. Granted. The king asked, does God exist? Bring a glass of milk. Does butter exist in this milk? Yes, if you churn milk, the butter will float on the surface. That is your answer. Practice the spiritual disciplines, you will see God. Second question, in what direction does he look? Bring a candle. Which direction does the light go? All directions. God watches everything. He is Sarvagya Sarvabhi. What can he do? Oh king, look, I am a servant, I am on the throne and you are on the floor. See what God can do? It is a beautiful Indian folklore. Godless life. I have money, I have all objects of enjoyment, I have all comforts I need. Still I have no peace. That is the reason Krishna tells us, Anittama Sukham Lokam Imam Prapya Bhajasamam. This world is not permanent. It is not an eternal place. I call it Holiday Inn. It is a vacation village. We are here only for a few days. Imam Pratya Bhajasamam, worship me, worship me. That is the way we can get peace and bliss, which we cannot get in the market. I always tell people, if you can go to the shop and say, I want 5 kg peace and 10 kg bliss, no way. It comes from within, it comes from the spiritual life. Swami Vivekananda's those famous lines, Bhurbe Sammukhe Chhadi Kotha Goji Je Ishwar Jibe Prem Kare Je Jan Sei Jan Sevi Je Ishwar. Swamiji was in Rajputana. Somebody asked, could you tell me where is God? Swamiji said, go to the cottage of the poor people. You will see God there. And if you want to realize God, serve them. Serve them. That is practical Vedanta Swamiji taught us. God. Now we shall go a little bit philosophy. How to see God? Who is the seer? In the first verse of the Drishya Viveka, we find Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drik Tadrishyam Drikta Manasam Drishyadhi Vriktayo Sakshi Drigiva Natu Drishyati. That's a beautiful verse. Who is the seer? Who sees? The form is perceived and the eye is the perceiver. Then the eye is perceived and the mind is the perceiver. Then the mind with all its modifications is perceived and the witness self is verily the perceiver. But it is not perceived by any other. Drigeva, natu drishyate. Sakshi. Sometimes we may see some people's eyes are open, they do not see. Which is the consciousness behind, which is everything. You know, Swamiji defines God. Satchidananda, existence, consciousness, bliss, that is God according to Vedanta. Of course we have many, 33 million gods and goddesses. We have many, many. Who is this here? Consciousness. We read these mantras, beautiful mantras, na tatra surya bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kuto amogni jisham. Where the sun shines not the moon, not the stars, what to speak of this mortal fire. When it shines, everything shines after it. It is the consciousness. That consciousness is the seer. When something bothers me, do you know what do I repeat? Monodrishyam idam sarvam yat kinjit sacharacharam manohi amoni bhave duitona pulabhati. That I repeat. Monodrishyam, whatever you see, idam sarvam, duito, dualism. When the mind becomes mindless, the duality is not perceived. Problem is this duality. Let me tell you how it works. If you see two moons, what does it mean? Double vision. If you see the two cars are coming toward you and you are driving, double vision. That means there is a disease in your eyes, double vision, glaucoma, something wrong. You must go to a doctor. That is the way Vedanta works. What are you seeing? Mrittu sa mrittum apnuti jaiva nanaiva paishyati. You will encounter death after death, death after death. Endless recycling process. If you see variety, multiplicity, diversity, duality. This is the problem. Why we see variety, multiplicity, diversity? Because we have ignorance. Ignorance, darkness. If it is fully lighted, we see the thing as it is. If it is too dark, we do not see anything. We see things when there is light and shadow. In the darkness, you see in the park a stump of a tree. A policeman thinks he is the thief. The thief thinks he is the policeman. A man thinks, my beloved, some woman is waiting for me. Woman thinks that the man is waiting for me. A child is thinking that it is a ghost. A stump of a tree, all these projections came due to this darkness. That Vedanta teaches. His superimposition, Adhyash. I am just telling you how to see. We give the example rope, snake rope, you know it, which is common. The moment you bring the light, the rope becomes rope, it does not become snake. See, how to see. Very interesting. And when you see in Uttarakhand, do you know how the monks greet each other? Aapko darshan saaf hai. Aapko darshan saaf hai. What do you see? Do you see God in everything or not? Sarva bhute brahma darshan, sarvam khalvi idam brahma. That is our goal. That we teach in Vedanta. And if we get that unity in diversity, what happens? Tatuna bijugupshate. You can't hate anybody. Tatra ko moha ka shoka. Where there is moha, delusion, grief, all disappear. When you have that unity of knowledge, knowledge of oneness, knowledge of God, when you see God in everything, in every being. But you must have a strong common sense. Sri Ramakrishna said, lion God, tiger God, they are also gods, but don't hug them. Don't embrace the lion God, tiger God. Just salute them from a distance. Please go, go, go. Don't come near me. Don't hug everybody. Very interesting about God. Swamiji went to Sri Ramakrishna and asked his favorite question, have you seen God? Yes, I have seen God. I see God more than I see you. What does it mean? I see this human form in front of me. But Sri Ramakrishna is seeing his inside, his outside, his past, present, future, everything. Because he is Sarvagya, Sarvavid. He knows cosmically. He knows individually, he knows collectively. He can see everything. Ekatva darshan, that is our goal. We read the lives of the mystics all over the world. In Judaism, let me tell you first the concept of God, of the other religions. According to Judeo-Christian and Islamic religion, God has no form, but God has qualities. God is omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, all kinds, full of kindness, full of power, full of everything, but no form. That is their concept. The Brahmas also, the same concept. But the mystics have various kinds of visions. When we see Moses had that vision in the burning bush, he heard that voice, I am that I am. He went to Mount Sinai and got that 10 commandments. Do not kill, do not commit adultery. Those are the golden rules of all religions. 10 commandments. We have those kinds of golden rules are in all religions, but very few people practice. I remember in 1992, I was invited to speak on the contemporary mysticism. I spoke on Sri Ramakrishna. It happened in Avila, in Spain, the birthplace of Saint Teresa. They took me to a convent and they showed me about Saint Teresa's visions of Christ. He saw a little boy on the step. Teresa asked, who are you? The little boy asked, who are you? I am Teresa of Jesus. Then Teresa asked, who are you? I am Jesus of Teresa. First vision in that convent. They took me there. Once Teresa was going to Toledo to open a convent there with a horse wagon. And that wagon was overturned and fell from the road in the ditch, in the water. He had heart problem. She had heart problem. She said, Lord, I wanted to work for you, so much endless suffering for me. Why? Why I have so much suffering? Jesus said, Teresa, this is the way I test my devotees. Lord, that is the reason their numbers are very few. Teresa said, that is true. Mystics. We know that there is a famous story in Sufism. A guru asked his 10 students, take this chicken and slash the throat of this chicken and come to me. You must cut in such a place that nobody could see. All 9 disciples came, but one disciple did not return till evening. When he returned, the guru said, What happened? You brought the live chicken? Master, whenever I tried to slash the throat of this chicken, I found God is watching me. So I could not cut the throat of this chicken. You are my true disciple. You see, the mystics have seen God. Jesus resurrected after 3 days. Sri Ramakrishna resurrected within few hours. After his passing away, when Holy Mother was trying to remove her bangles, Holy Sri Ramakrishna came and grabbed her hand. What are you doing? Am I dead? I am just gone from one room to the other. Just see. He saw. She saw. It happened in Detroit in 1894. Swamiji, some missionaries are trying to poison him. They put poison in the coffee. Swamiji was about to drink that poison. Sri Ramakrishna appeared before him and said, "Don't drink. There is poison. You will die." God exists. Swami Vivekananda wrote in the Belur Math rule book, perhaps most of you have not seen it. Let me read it to you. The Lord has not yet given up the Ramakrishna form. Some see him in that form even now and receive instructions from him. And all can see him if they so desire. This form will last until he comes again in another gross body. Though he is not visible to all, that he is in the order and guiding it is a fact of everybody's experience. In fact, if one sees an incarnation of God, it is the same as seeing God. Jesus also said, "Who has seen me has seen the Father." Someone asked Swami Brahmananda, "Can one see Ramakrishna even now?" The Swami replied, "Yes, Swamiji saw the Master many times. We also see him from time to time." Now we shall again go back to the scriptures. The Vedanta scriptures, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita emphasize that Brahman or the Atman cannot be perceived through these mortal eyes. No way. The Shvetashvatara Upanishad says, his form is not an object of vision. No one beholds him with the eyes. They who, through pure intellect and the knowledge of unity, based upon reflection, realize him as abiding in the heart, become immortal. The Mundaka Upanishad says, Brahman is not grasped by the eye, nor by speech, nor by other senses, nor by penance or good works. A man becomes pure through serenity of intellect. Thereupon, in meditation, he beholds him who is without parts. In the Gita, before showing Arjuna his universal form, Krishna said to him, "With these eyes of yours, you cannot see me. I give you a divine eye. Behold now my sovereign yoga power. Dadami te dibbam chakshu, pashyame yogamishwaram." Dibba chakshu. We need divine sight to see God. We call it third eye, Jnana chakshu, Antas chakshu, Tritiya chakshu, Manas chakshu. We give many names of that third eye. That we shall have to open. Sometimes I ask people, do you know how to open it? When you close your eyes and try to meditate, you will sight boom, 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 boom. Your mind is going through the eyes. Just no, fight. Then automatically your eyes will stop. At that time your mental eye will open. This is the way one should meditate if you go within. Look, that we learn from the Upanishad. Avrita chakshu amritattvam icchan. You close your eyes if you want to see God within. But our minds are made with outgoing tendencies, so they are always going out, out, out. We want to see. We want to see. Astronomers, I went to Palomar in California. They have 200 inches diameter telescope. Several hundred miles radius, no electricity. Clear night, all these astronomers will come and watch the planets. We need that kind of telescope to see, which we're going to see with our open eyes. Same way, when we want to see, suppose somebody took blood from your body, they will go through microscope, they will see what is inside. Look, those we believe, this is pure science. We need microscope, we need telescope. Similarly, we need a third eye, Jnanachakshu, Antarchakshu, Manachakshu. How to open it? That, I tried to work on that Dhanaloka Sri Ramakrishna in this book. We read in the Guru Gita, Ajnanatimirandhaisya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namo. Salutations to the Guru, who with the collyrium of a stick of knowledge has opened the eyes of one blinded by the disease of ignorance. On 24th August 1882, him asked Sri Ramakrishna, when one sees God, does one see Him with these eyes? The Master replied, God cannot be seen with these physical eyes. In the course of spiritual discipline, one gets a premier chakku, love, premier shori, love body, endowed with premier chakshu, love eyes, premier karna, love ears, and so on. One sees God with these love eyes. One hears the voice of God with these love ears. But this is not possible without intense love of God. One sees nothing but God everywhere when one loves Him with great intensity. It's just like a person with jaundice who sees everything yellow. Then one feels, I am verily He. That is a beautiful example. If you have jaundice, you see everything yellow. When you have that love comes, the senses change. Even ugly becomes beautiful when you have love. On another occasion, Ramakrishna said, one cannot see God if one has even the slightest trace of worldliness. Matchsticks, if damp, won't strike fire. Without fire, through you rub 1,000 of them against the matchbox. You only waste a heap of sticks. The mind soaked in worldliness is such a damp matchstick. Only once Radha said to her friends that she saw Krishna everywhere, both within and without. The friends answered, why we don't see Him at all? Are you delirious? Radha said, friends, paint your eyes with the collyrium of divine love, Anuraganjan, and then you will see Him. Sri Ramakrishna went to the Brahmo Samaj and they found that all the Brahmas are meditating, closing their eyes. Then he was thinking, does God only exist when I think Him with my eyes closed? Doesn't He exist when I look around with my open eyes? Now when I look around my eyes open, I see that God dwells in all beings. He is the indwelling spirit of all, man, animals, other living beings, trees, plants, sun, moon, land, water. Eyes change. Thakur was seeing distressed girls. Mother, you are in another form. Thakur went to the Maidan, saw an English boy standing, reclining on a tree. He was seeing Krishna. He went to see the lion in the zoo. He saw the career of the Divine Mother. He could not see anymore. That kind of eye we need. The whole world changes. When you have a blue glasses, you see everything blue. Green, green. Red, red. How can we change those eyes? We shall talk about it more. As scientists experiments to test his or her hypothesis, so Sri Ramakrishna did the same thing. Swamiji used to come sometimes and criticize Sri Ramakrishna bluntly. Sir, all this Kali, all these things you see, those are all illusions. আপনার মনের ভুল। বলিস কি রে, মা আমার সঙ্গে কথা বলে, আমি মাকে স্পর্শ করেছি আর তুই বলছিস সব ভুল। দেখুন, according to Vedanta, these three things are very vital. Shruti, Yukti, Anubhav. Shruti, scripture, can be counteracted by other scripture. Reason can be counteracted by another reason. But Anubhav, realization, experience cannot be counteracted. You have tasted sugar. If I say sugar tastes sour or bitter, will you take my words? No way. I taste sugar every day. I know sugar tastes sweet. That is called Anubhuti. That is vital in spiritual life. That Sri Ramakrishna gave to Swamiji and changed him. Anubhav. Very interesting. I shall tell you an incident. Swami Dharmesananda, I interviewed him in 1982 in Benares. He went to AIM and said, I have a little problem. What is the problem? I don't believe that Ramakrishna is God. AIM said, do you know how do I look at it? তুমি সাতকাণ্ড রামায়ণ পড়ে এখন বলছো সীতাকার মাসি। Listen. One day, Sri Ramakrishna, after lunch, resting on his bed, and I was caressing his feet. And I was thinking, here is a man, he eats, sleeps, walks, talks, like other human beings. How can he be God? Immediately Sri Ramakrishna got up, and he said, hey master, ki bhabcho? Eke bhable sab hobe, eke bhable sab hobe, eke bhable sab hobe. Then Sri Ramakrishna was talking. Ma, eke ami bollam na tui bolli, ami bollam na tui bolli, eke ami bollam na tui bolli. Saying this, Mother, if you think this place, you will get everything. Mother, did I say this or you said it? Then Master merged into Samadhi. With that day I realized Ramakrishna was God. Most of the people, we meditate, most of the Indian, all things you can, Buddhism, Buddha or Muni Rishi, we see the eyes closed. All meditation poses of Jesus, of Buddha, our saints, you will see eyes closed because we see God within. All the Christian pictures, Jesus, you will see eyes are like this, up. We try to see God up, close, opening the eyes. Very interesting. Sri Ramakrishna gave a beautiful illustration. Somebody was meditating in front of Mother Kali in Dakshineshwar, closing his eyes. Sri Ramakrishna said, what is this? If you go home and see your mother sitting in front of you, could you tell her, Mother, sit down, let me close my eyes and meditate on you? You are foolish. You are stupid. If I see you, shall I have to close my eyes? I enjoy seeing you. You are my mother. That is, when we read these things, we feel how Thakur had close relationship with Divine Mother and God. One saint said, the Master came to prove that God exists. He realized God in many ways, with form, without form. He also made it possible for his intimate disciples to experience God. If those who have never met the Master focus their thoughts on him, he will graciously appear to them. He told his disciples, those who think of me inherit my treasures. As children inherit their parents' wealth. The Master's riches include knowledge, devotion, discrimination, renunciation, love, peace, Mahabhava, Samadhi, and so on. God is really a mystery to us, because we do not see. Two, three scientists came to Sharadananda and said, we don't think God exists. Why? Because we do not see him. Have you seen England? No. Then England does not exist. No, England exists. We read in the geography, and we saw some people who came from England. We know England. Oh, so but you have not seen. You are telling me that which we cannot see, that does not exist. Just see. That was the problem of Swamiji also. When he was criticizing the non-dualism, God Brahma, Ghoti Brahma, Bhati Brahma, Sri Ramakrishna came and pushed, ki go. What are you talking about? He went home, saw the rice, consciousness, mother serving food, consciousness. On the street, the cars are coming near Hedua, consciousness. The Hedua railings, he is bumping his head and consciousness. He realized, my goodness, it's just he was convinced. As I said, consciousness, experience is the most important thing in spiritual life. Experience. Thakur tested. As I was talking about, there is a big piece of a stone in front of Nahavar. He was telling, Mother, if my visions are true, let this stone jump thrice, and that stone move thrice. Sri Ramakrishna experimented. Scientific religion. Jesus says, ask, ye shall receive. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. Seek, seek. We are not true seekers. Half-heartedly, we seek. Seek. Knock. Then the door will open. Ramakrishna answers all these questions. How should he meditate? Where should he meditate? On whom should he meditate? When should we meditate? And what shall we achieve from meditation? Do you know what I am talking about? This third eye opens. A sixth sense opens when we meditate. How do we perceive the world? Through five senses? Through the eyes we see, through the ears we hear, through the nose we smell, through tongue we taste, through skin we get the touch. These are the five senses. We get knowledge. Look what Upanishad says. Ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhi sattva shuddhau dhruva smriti smriti lambe sarva gruntinam vipra moksha. Ahar. Food. Don't think we eat only through the mouth. We eat through all the senses, through the ears, through the eyes. We eat. Ahar means Aryate iti ahara. Shankara mentioned in the commentary. Whatever we gather inside, that is called ahara. Ahara shuddha sattva shuddhi. Sattva means mind. If you continuously gather good things through the senses and feed the mind, your mind is bound to pure. Your mind is bound to be pure. And what happens? Sattva Shuddha Dhruva Smriti. When the mind becomes pure, Dhruva Smriti means constant recollectedness of God. সবসময় না ঈশ্বর চিন্তাই আসে, আর কোনো চিন্তা মনে ওঠে না, আজেবাজে চিন্তাও আসে না। Constant recollectedness of God. Dhruva Smriti. Smriti Vambe Sarva Grunthinam Vipra Moksha. Sanat Kumar says to Narada, when you have this kind of recollectedness, Vipra Moksha, you will be liberated. Constant, natural thoughts of God. Very interesting. "2,000 years ago, Jesus said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." Pure in heart. Who is polluting our mind? 6. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarja. Shadaripu. Polluting our mind. And desire and doubts are there. Great main pollution is in the mind. I sometimes say, how do you clean your dirty clothes? You put your dirty clothes in the washing machine, put detergent, soap, turn on the machine, bas, it churns again and again, then all the dirt goes away, you get fresh clothes. Meditation does the same thing. You meditate, the Guru gave the mantra will turn the mind, all the dirt will go away, and mind will be pure. Blessed are the pure in heart. That you see, you cannot change. It is the gospel truth. Bhagavad Bhakya. পরিবর্তন হয় না। উপনিষদের কথা পূরণ হয় না। সত্য কখনো, truth never becomes old. Truth remains fresh always. I remember a story. I was in Southern California for 7 years, 71 to 78. Once a month I used to go to Swamiji's house in Pasadena, 309 Montreat Road. There, Swamiji stayed 6 weeks. Only one place I saw Swamiji's footprint. I have never seen Swamiji's footprint in any other place in this world. Anyhow, there was a young boy named Ralph, 17, 18 years old. He was the son of Mrs. Wyckoff, Lolita, who gave all the property, Hollywood property to Prabhupada. So Swamiji was asking Ralph, God is so near to us, but we cannot see him. Why, Swamiji? Ralph, how do you see? Swami, I see through my eyes. But can you see your eyes? No. But if I have a mirror, if আমার আজ যদি আয়না থাকে আমি আমার নিজের চোখ দেখতে পাই, that is the answer, Ralph. We need a pure mind, clean mind. Meditation does that job. It cleanses the mind. You know, the other day I was talking about this. Sri Ramakrishna came to this world to make religion easy. Look at Chaitanya Dev says, শুনে নিত্যানন্দ ভাই সংসারী জীবের কোনো কালে গতি নাই। Look, Thakur, Gospel of Ramakrishna. I remember after initiation I asked my Guru, Maharaj, give us some advice. কেবল উপদেশ, কেউ পালন করে না, কেবল উপদেশ চায়। কথামৃত রোজ পড়বে, ওখানে ঠাকুরের সব উপদেশ রয়েছে। যদি ঠাকুরের উপদেশে কাজ না হয়, আমার উপদেশেও কাজ হবে না, যাও। That is my advice during initiation. Funny. Another thing, imagination. There is no end to human imagination. Swami Turiyananda used to say, imagination becomes realization. Let me tell you a very interesting story. I was very close to the Disney people. The vice president of Disneyland and his wife was very close to me. I stayed in their cottage for 20 years in Laguna Beach. So John Hinch told me this story. Once Walt Disney, the founder of the Disneyland, went to England. He found there are many old castles they're demolishing, they're destroying those old castles. So one said, well, there are some ghosts are there, some spirits. Please make a house for them, otherwise they will be homeless. And if you don't, I shall take all of them in my Disneyland and make that haunted mansion, haunted house. If you go, I went there many times, I was a VIP. The moment you enter, the whole thing will go down. Then you will hear a voice. This is the place. Has no doors, no windows. There are 999 spirits live here. We shall not mind any more to add one more. That means you die. Then the door opens and then then the show begins. It is a conveyor belt trail. You will go. You will see some ghosts are dancing and singing. Some ghosts are reading Bible. Some are crying. All these things you will see in Disneyland. Do you know what? All this show came from the imagination of that person. How imagination becomes realization. Look, this Culture Institute was in Rosha Road, which is Swami Nityaswarupananda's imagination. How this beautiful place in the Gold Park, this beautiful Culture Institute came into existence. Whatever you see, it is all comes from the human imagination. Meditation is the science of calming the mind and attaining spiritual enlightenment. Patanjali, the founder of the yoga psychology, taught that one can control and calm the mind by repeated practice and non-attachment. In fact, practice makes a person perfect. Practice, practice, practice. Swami Prabhupada used to say, Swami Brahmananda used to say, spiritual life, struggle, struggle, struggle. Nothing but a struggle. Practice. Do you know how do I look at a spiritual life? Take it for granted. You sat for meditation and you decided 1 hour, 60 minutes I shall think about God. 59 minutes you failed. 59 minutes gone. 1 minute you kept your mind in God. That is enough. I took 60 particles of sugar in front of you. I put 1 particle of sugar on your tongue and 59 particles I took away. You will tell me, Swami, sugar tastes sweet. He is the mason trying to break a stone. He is hammering. 59 strokes failed. On the 60th stroke, he broke the stone. Are these 59 strokes meaningless? No. Spiritual life, which is a struggle. We'll have to fight. Those who have pure mind, they do not struggle. I remember I asked one Swami, I said, Maharaj, why we have so much struggle? Why is our mind why is the mind so restless? Then he pointed out to a Swami. He pointed out Swami Shantanandaji. Do you see him? Motherji said, he does not struggle. The moment he sits, he merges. He has no struggle. Who is creating this struggling desires? Desires. Now his cell phone created, so much restlessness in human mind. Husband and wife sitting together, wife is texting the husband, I am going to bed. No communication. Restlessness, desires. Look how our Upanishad tells us. There are only 3 desires are controlling the whole world. Lokeshana, Putreshana, Vitteshana, Sarveva Eva Bhavataha. Lokeshana, desire for name and fame. Putreshana, desire for progeny, sex. Vitteshana, desire for money. These are the 3 desires. There is no 4th desire. Well, Swami, I have desire for car, home. All those desires are incorporated in this money and other desires. Only these 3 desires are controlling this whole world. Look at 4,000-5,000 years ago, our rishis, our sages, explored the whole spectrum of human life. Who am I? Where do I come from? What is this world we live in? What is the purpose of human life? What is the goal? What is bondage? What is liberation? All these answers we find in our Upanishads, in the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. Manav Jivan Uddesho Ishallah. Well, I remember one Polish lady, she used to tie for me. I'm a devout Catholic. Her one brother is a Catholic monk, 2 sisters are Catholic nuns. Coming from a very devout family. But she loves non-dualism, Advaita. So I tried to bring her a little down to read Ramakrishna. So I gave her a copy, presented her a copy, Gospel of Ramakrishna. Reading that book, the moment they read, woman and gold are Maya, closed the book, wrote in her will that when I shall die, please return this book to the Swami. She died, her sister returned the book to me. Western world, our Sarvagatanandaji used to say, he gave a book of Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna to a friend, he is a professor. And said, read this book. The moment he read Woman and Gold and Maya, closed it and returned. Well, why? Well, no, Swami, this book will not work for me. Well, you do not know how to read the book. All teachings of Ramakrishna are not for you. Take those things which suit you. I am a Ramakrishna monk, not necessarily I can practice all teachings of Ramakrishna. I will be confused. Take those teachings which suit you. In the drugstore, all medicines are there. If you take indiscriminately, you will die. The doctor knows which medicine is good for you. That is the way it works. So he says, well, he read again. Then he returned the book, he told me, Swami, I see Ramakrishna has the answer in our society. Our society is guided by dollar king and sex queen. The whole Kamini Kanchan. Kamini Kanchan, Thakur says, Kamini Kanchan, সুখ শান্তি পার্মানেন্টলি দিতে পারেন না, টেম্পোরারি। Sri Ramakrishna, Swamiji, Holy Mother demonstrated how to practice a spiritual life. Another thing, which Swamiji taught us, seeing God in living gods, living human beings. Worship the living gods. Some of the poems, if you read Swamiji's, it is his own experience. Manush Bhagavan pujo karo. Serve human beings as God. All gods and goddesses are sleeping. Worship these living gods. These ideas came from Sri Ramakrishna in 1884. He was listening to Vaishnava scripture. नामे रुचि जीवे देया वैष्णव बसे बन, इहा बिना धर्म नाई शुनो सनातन। चैतन्यदेव बोलছেন नामे रुचि, tasting the God's name, जीवे दया, compassion to human beings, Vaishnav Sevan, serving the Vaishnavas, devotees. इहा बिना धर्म नाई शुनो सनातन, these are the Vaishnava religion. Thakur says, जीवे दया. Who are you to show mercy to the human beings? Jive dayana, Shivogyane Jivo Shiva. Serve human beings as God. Swamiji listened to it. He said, if in future, if I get time and if I get the opportunity, I shall explore and experiment and execute these Thakur's ideas. And he did. The Ramakrishna Mahatma mission. We are not social workers. We serve human beings as God. I remember one day I was very sick. I was flying from Kansas City to St. Louis. American Airlines, I sat at back. One girl, she had hostess. Why are you here? You can sit in front. I said, I don't feel good today. So that girl was very interested, came near me and said, then I told that I am a monk, and he inquired about me and this and that. When I was leaving, that girl stopped me. Before you leave, you give me a word of wisdom. You give me a word of wisdom. I said, really? You need a word of wisdom? Yes. Love and serve. মানুষকে ভালোবাসো এবং সেবা করো। That is the word of wisdom. That we learn from Sri Ramakrishna, Swamiji, Holy Mother. Love and serve. These are all living gods. I sometimes ask the Western people, sometimes they do not understand. Then I do know what the example I give. Here are 4 billion cups of water. 4 billion cups of water. And here is the sun. What do you see? You see 4 billion reflected suns. So all these human beings you see, they are not reflected God. That is called Avajvad. The Chaitanya, the consciousness is reflecting in the Buddhi. That is called Chit Jat Gunanti, according to Vedanta. Is reflecting. These are all reflected gods. Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamosi, I am Brahman, thou art Brahman. That Ramakrishna Math Mission worships. When you close your eyes, say, I am Brahman. And when you open your eyes, you are Brahman too. Same consciousness, pervaded in everything, in every being. I pray to Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Swamiji, may they remove our desires and doubts and give us this clear vision so that we can see God in everything and every being. Thank you very much.
To see God with open eyes. আলোচনা করলেন স্বামী চেতনানন্দজি মহারাজ।
হরি নাম করো নাম ভিন্ন গতি নাহিয়া